Hey folks, in this video, I want to chat about how sections should be built moving forward in 2026. Last year was a massive year when it came to sections in general. We went from, theme 2.0 where we maybe had a section and some blocks into it to now quite a lot that we can do with inside of Shopify, like such as we could have nested groups and blocks that go as many layers deep. And now that I've kind of watched how sections have been built over the past few months, I've noticed two things. One is that some people completely reject this new idea of the way themes should be built with nested groups and blocks. And two, I've noticed that some people have really embraced it, but have started to bake a ton of settings into the nested groups and blocks, which makes them unusable. I think that what's important moving forward, and for context, I've been doing professional Shopify work for years now. And I think what's important is that we build sections in a way that do have multiple layers of hierarchy that controls each bit. But I think that we have to step away from adding so many settings into a section because it can get pretty archaic and messy. Now, one rule that I've tried to follow when building sections inside of Shopify is I do the 7 rule. And essentially what the 7 rule is I only have 7 settings available within each nested group or block, because I find that's kind of like the lucky number of information that someone can comprehend when making edits within the Shopify theme customizer. And you may be thinking at this point, cool, but I know for a fact I have a ton of different sections that I've built that need way more settings than that. And yes, that's true. And a way that I want you to think about getting around that is I use the conditional setting quite a bit when I'm developing sections. And essentially, I'll have 7 like top level settings that someone can adjust. But for example, if someone wanted to select an image background or a color background, and then there were certain like image settings with like how you want to position that image in the background, I would end up using a conditional setting that someone can check, and then that would then display more settings for them to be able to adjust the image. But on load for a certain section or group background, I would have that condition set to false so that someone can either choose just to add a color or an image. And what this does is it really reduces decision fatigue when people are using your sections and so on. But anyways, just wanted this to be a bit of a candid conversation on how I think that themes should be built moving forward. I'm still learning and discovering every single day how I want to approach how to build sections. And maybe you're like me, a bit of an overthinker and kind of going back to the drawing board quite a bit, and I know I have been. So just wanted to make this post to keep this open for discussion. Okay, cheers.